have been like going with me since I started it. internal monologue.
Did I say something funny?
I have to do the flag on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, sunrise to sunset just that day.
I set an alarm, so we should be good.
1 minute.
No, it's for the peace officers in Illinois, apparently.
Got it.
And then you got the rest of the dates.
Okay, can we do the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. You have the floor. Crystal wants to swear me in, so
That's okay.
it's good enough. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Right hand. I, Stephen Bank,
I, Stephen Bank,
having been elected to the position of president for the village of Capron
having been elected to the position of president for the village of Capron
in the county of
in
Boone,
the county of Boone,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or
do solemnly
affirm
swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of
and
Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
according to my best ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Glenn, could you stand up, please? And raise your right hand. I, Glenn Canal,
I, Glenn Fennell,
having been elected to the position of trustee
having been elected to the position of trustee
for the village of
for
Capron
the village of Capron
in the county of
in
Boone,
the county of Boone,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
to the office of which I have been elected
to the office of which I have been elected
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Take this and sign this and hand it to Crystal. Linda, you're next. Okay. I, Linda Wolfarth,
I, Linda Wolfarth,
having been elected to the position of trustee
having been elected to the position of trustee
for the village of
for
Capron
the village of
in
Capron
the county of
in
Boone,
the county of Boone,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office to which I've been elected
the duties of the office to which I have been elected
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Rachel. I, Rachel Agee,
I, Rachel Agee,
having been elected to the position of trustee
having been elected to the position of trustee
for the village of Capron
for the village of Capron
in the county of Boone,
in the county of Boone,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office to which I've been elected
to the office of which I've been elected
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. One more, Kim.
Oh, me.
That's right.
I,
Okay, I, Kim McMahon.
I, Kim
Raise
McMahon,
your hand, okay. Having been elected to the position of trustee
having been elected to the position of
for the
trustee
village of
for
Capron
the village of
in
Capron
the county of Boone,
in the county of Boone,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of
and that
Illinois,
I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully
the
discharge
duties of the office to which I've been elected
the duties of office to which I have been elected
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I have to shake her hand.
You know me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, great.
Jesus.
Okay, so I'm going to call the meeting to order, and now we can do a roll call.
Sure. Trustee Colpez? Here. Trustee McMahon?
Here.
Trustee Lacewell?
Here.
President Bain?
Here.
Trustee G? Here. Trustee Wolford? Here. Trustee Canal?
Here.
Tom Green?
Okay, so before we start this meeting, I just wanted to thank everybody that voted for us in the last election, and I appreciate the support and just the support for everything that we've done over the last 4 years. I want to thank Tom Green for his legal assistance and his mentoring, okay? I want to thank all the trustees that have been on the board for the last 4 years. Some of you have been here all 4 years, some not, but everybody who's been on the board who's contributed to this effort over the last 4 years, I greatly appreciate it, and I hope that we continue to do the same for the next 4 years. And I want to thank my wife for putting up with all this, okay? And last but not least, I especially want to thank our village clerk, Crystal, because without her, this stuff wouldn't have happened, okay? I
Right.
can't do this. I couldn't have done all this. We couldn't have done all this without her. Okay? All right. Second, I want everybody to know, everybody out there, there will be a public hearing. It's not a public hearing, it's an open house from IDOT on the 173 project. It's next Wednesday night from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Lions Club. So I'm not quite sure what they're gonna have and what they're gonna do. It is not a public hearing, it's not a question and answer session, but it is being titled an open house. But I'm sure you'll be able to ask questions and see some aspects of design, etc. So that's where we're going with that, okay? Next, I think that's it for now until I get into my part of well number 2, we were having a problem with it. It's fixed. It was a timing issue, okay? There's 2 switches in the SCADA system. One's called a preloop. So when water gets injected into the system, the SCADA system recognizes that because you don't want to run a pump dry. It'll burn up. And after the preloop starts and it starts to pump, there's another switch that kicks on, and it's supposed to kick in within 30 seconds, and it wasn't. It was kicking in at 32 and 35. It was working fine before the rehab, but, things it's software, what can I tell you? And so they opened it up to 60 seconds, and it's been working fine ever since. So we're doing just fine with that, okay? All right, next on the agenda is, let's approve the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the minutes. The minutes are from the business meeting on April 8th. Committee meeting on April 8th.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next, we're gonna do the bills. This is gonna take us a little bit, okay? We got quite a few of them this time, all right? And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, okay? We got sewer testing, 118, sewer testing, 118, water testing, 25, water testing, 40, sewer testing, 118, water testing, 100, water testing, 17, water testing, 25, half the testing contract, 3958.33 and 3958.34. MediaCom 5626. Cordray for gravel $500. Biscotti Computers 126. Boone County Treasurer real estate tax 26602.
Collins Sanitary, 900. Collins Sanitary, 34,506. And Collins Sanitary, 4158. And that's all related to getting the lagoon cleaned out, okay? Gale Romine Electrical Inspection, 190 and 75 and 190 and 150. Casey's for gasoline, 10404. KPH, 296161. Water main break on Ogden, 18475. The service line repair on 5th Street, 2950. Again, zoning inspection, 110. Nicor, 5817. 18978 and 5352. ComEd, 175435. 129680, 7014, and 25097, and 187307. Frontier, 40187, and 87394. Ace Hardware, 1458, and 80, and Sickich, 1432. Sparrow and Switzer, 3222, and 1566. Hawkins for chemicals, 56504 and 22126, and USA Blue Book, 199.59. The total is 88,319.28, okay, of which 11,206.34 comes out of the general fund, and 77,112.94 will come out of water and sewer. Are there any questions, concerns, comments? Yes.
Yes. For the attorney fee, Real App, which is the trailer park,
That's the trailer park.
1566, what is that for?
What happened was the fire department went over to the trailer park to do an inspection and found out that people were building lean-tos and tents and everything, and they were living in them over there. And he came to me because he went to the health department, and the health department says, that's Capron, okay? And it's not Capron. So we dug up a copy of the release from pre-annexation.
And it was shown on Windgist, it was shown on Boone County Windgist as being in Capron.
Yeah.
That was incorrect.
Right.
And that's what they were basing it on.
So that's what we had to do. So now we just got a copy of the GIS map, which is still wrong, but there are no taxes being paid to Capron from the trailer park
And the last
anymore.
time I looked at the Boone GIS, or the Boone GIS map, it was correct. It no longer is identified.
The one she just sent us does not.
But I've already got an email out to her, so I'm just waiting for a response.
So anyways, that's what that was
I
I
for.
looked at it online.
Because there's no way, shape, or form we want that in the village of Capron, because we would have to condemn every trailer that's in there. It's not pretty tight. I wish it wasn't there, but at least it's not within the village confines, so we're not responsible for it.
And oddly, I got a call today from Jessica Roberts, who's the Boone County zoning person, saying, wait, when did this get disconnected or de-annexed? And so I left her a voicemail back saying, it's not disconnected,
Right.
it's not de-annexed, it was an error. We were never, so hopefully she'll call me tomorrow and I'll make sure that
That's
doesn't
wonderful.
filter back through the Boone County.
Right.
So that's what that's all about.
Well, I was
wish it was a
questioning,
done
why
deal.
is it so high? $1,566 for legal fees, just to
That's what it
talk
costs.
to the
It was-
county?
Yeah, it was a lot more than talking to the county. I had to go back into the file, I had to dig out the documents that were filed with the county. I had to forward all those over. I had 3 conversations with Tammy Cox, is it? And then I had to follow up with her because it hadn't been done. And we talked several times and it was just bird dogging them to make sure they got it done.
So I think it was important to get it done, so that's why we went ahead and did, we had to do it. So now I talked to the chief and I asked him, I said, he went back to the county and said, this is yours, and he's waiting for the health department, and I don't know that there's anything that they're gonna do about it, but, yeah, it would be a major headache for the village if they made it part of the village, so I'm glad that's over with, okay? All right, so can we have a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Can I have a second?
One second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee McMahon?
Aye.
Trustee Lacewell?
Aye.
President Bain?
Aye.
Trustee Agee?
Aye.
Trustee Wolford?
Aye.
Trustee Pennell?
Aye.
Trustee Cobus?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next is public comments. Any public comments? Okay. No old business, no new business. I got one thing I want to go over. It's getting warm out. It's getting lighter later. Kids are out playing. A lot of proliferation of these little electric vehicles they're driving around on and everything, and they're not necessarily looking out for anybody. So it's our responsibility to look out for them. Kids running out from behind cars and balls in the street, etc. It's just a serious situation. With that, I want to remind everybody, I realize we live in a rural community, but the state has laws that should be followed, and one of them deals with non-highway vehicles, and I want to read it, okay? This is 625 ILCS 5/11-1426.1. Section 11-1426.1, operation of non-highway vehicles on streets, roads, and highways. A, as used in this section, non-highway vehicle means a motor vehicle not specifically designed to be used in a public highway, including 1, all-terrain vehicles as defined by section 1-101-8 of this code. 2, a golf cart as defined in section 1-123.9, and 3, an off-highway motorcycle as defined by section 1-53.1, and 4, a recreational off-highway vehicle as defined by section 1-168.8. Says, except as otherwise provided in this section, it is unlawful for any person to drive or operate a non-highway vehicle upon any street, highway, or roadway in this state. That's a pretty solid statement, okay? Doesn't say if. It says if the operation of a non-highway vehicle is authorized under section D, the non-highway vehicle may be operated only on streets where the posted speed limit is 35 miles per hour or less. This subsection does not prohibit a non-highway vehicle from crossing a road or street at an intersection where the road or street has a posted speed limit of more than 35 miles an hour. A person may not operate a non-highway vehicle upon any street, highway, or roadway in this state unless he or she has a valid driver's license issued in his or her name by the Secretary of State or by a foreign jurisdiction. No person operating a non-highway vehicle shall make direct crossing upon or across any toll road, interstate highway, or controlled access highway in the state, and no person operating a non-highway vehicle shall make a direct crossing on or across any other highway under the jurisdiction of the state except at an intersection of the highway with another public street or road. A municipality, township, county, or other unit of local government may authorize by ordinance or resolution the operation of non-highway vehicles on roadways under its jurisdiction if the unit of local government determines that the public safety will not be jeopardized. The department may authorize the operation of non-highway vehicles on roadways under this jurisdiction if the department determines that the public safety will not be jeopardized. The unit of local government or the department may restrict the types of non-highway vehicles that are authorized to be used on its streets. Before permitting operation of non-highway vehicles on the roadways, the municipality, township, county, or other unit of local government or the department must consider the volume, speed, and character of traffic on the roadway and determine whether non-highway vehicles may safely travel on or across the road. Upon determining that non-highway vehicles may safely operate on a roadway and the adoption of an ordinance or resolution by the municipality, township, county, or other unit of local government or authorization by department, appropriate signs will be posted. If a roadway is under the jurisdiction of more than one unit of government, non-highway vehicles may not be operated on the roadway unless each unit of government agrees and takes action as provided in this subsection. No non-highway vehicle may be operated on a roadway unless, at a minimum, it has a rear view mirror, red reflectorized warning devices in the front and rear, a slow-moving emblem as required on other vehicles in section 12-709 of this code, on the rear of the non-highway vehicle, a headlight that emits a white light visible from a distance of 500 feet to the front, a tail lamp that emits a red light visible from at least 100 feet from the rear, brake lights, and turn signals. When operated on a roadway, a non-highway vehicle shall have its headlight and tail lamps lighted as required in section 12-01 of this code. And it also goes on to say any person who operates a non-highway vehicle on a street, highway, or roadway shall be subject to the mandatory insurance requirements of Article 6, Chapter 7 of this code. And it doesn't mean on your house or your car, it means on that vehicle. So, and the village is responsible for maintaining certification of all those vehicles if we happen to pass an ordinance allowing it. So that would be the village's responsibility. And in my opinion, based on the fact that we have people that ride around town on those now, when it's strictly illegal, I doubt seriously that they're gonna have any interest in following any ordinance that we follow. And I feel that that would open the village up to some liability, and I just don't think it's a good idea, but I wanna remind everybody that that's the law, okay? All right, moving on from there. We have a statement of work from Sikich, which is our accounting firm. This is basically the contract for the next 12 months. I've looked over it myself. There is a fee schedule in here, and as you see it, I've reviewed this against the previous fee schedule, and there's only like a $5 an hour difference between some of the fees, and some of them actually went down. So in my opinion, this is a pretty standard contract that we've had with them for the 4 years that I've been sitting in this chair. I think they do a real good job for us. They help us out a lot with our state audit, and I would recommend that we renew this contract, okay? Any questions, any comments? Yeah.
I have questions. On their letter, it says email transmissions, they specifically disclaim and waive any liability or responsibility, whatever, if they were to send an email to the wrong person. I think that's wrong. And then they're talking about third-party service providers and offshore resources. What part of accounting has to go to offshore resources? And they don't even put down any safeguards or anything. They would have to be found judicially guilty before the village could claim
We
that
have to
kind of
have,
stuff.
we have to have some sort of accounting for
Well, the
our-
village should be represented in this, though. I mean, if they send the email to the wrong person, suddenly it's the village's fault? That's not right. They claim disclaim and waive any liability or responsibility. That's wrong.
What paragraph are you looking at?
Under engagement administration,
Okay,
and then third-party service providers is the next one, and offshore resources is on the next page.
well, I will go over that with them, okay? But this is a pretty standard contract, everybody does this.
Well, that's kind of sad that nobody reads this.
Okay, we will take that under consideration, right? Okay, anybody else got anything? Okay, next is this is the introduction and contract letter for the state auditors. It's the same auditors that we've used over the last 4 years, and their fees and requirements are all in line with what we've done before, and we have a very good working relationship with them. Each time we get an audit done by them, it tends to go a little smoother. FDA's happy with them, everybody else seems to be happy with them, so I would recommend that we renew this contract and get this audit done. It'll be done in June, I think, okay? Any questions, any comments? Okay, so that'll be in 2 weeks. They have the Exxon, the message board. I still want to keep this on the books.
Is anyone checking the sign ordinance while we're looking at the options for signs?
On the what?
The sign ordinance, like how Jolly General had to do a
We
sign?
approved that.
Yes, but are we making sure that the sign we're looking to get for out here,
That's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
how is it?
He's asking if the sign we're looking to put out either here or down there
Okay.
is gonna be within the parameters that we have in our sign ordinance.
That's what I mean, yes.
Yeah, they should be. They should, of course, we're gonna have to check all that out.
I just want to
okay?
make sure that the village is going along like others had to.
Go along what?
Go along with the rules.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll make sure we go along with the rules, okay? But I just wanna, it's in here because we got additional quotes to look at, okay? This is still on my agenda, if you will, to get something done for that. And in conjunction with that, I forgot to let everybody know, I have a exploratory meeting with the Conservation District on Thursday morning to talk about doing something with the bike path. We talked about the fact that all the kids on the south side of 173 have no recreation equipment at all. You have to cross 173 to either get to the Lions Club or to school. And I've often thought that it'd be nice if we had something on the south side of the street for everybody to access. The problem with that is we don't have any real open space in the village that the village owns that's sufficient, but there's a lot of open space along the bike path. And I thought if we could do something in conjunction with the Conservation District as far as procuring equipment and sharing insurances, et cetera, that it would do a couple of things. It would allow the kids on the south side to have a recreational area, and it would kind of make like a way spot for people on the bike path to stop and maybe go to Rose's and maybe go to the Stumble and maybe go to Utterly Delicious, and then they got picnic tables and stuff that they could sit out there and spend some time and kind of support the local businesses that we have in town. So I contacted them and they want to talk about it, so made no commitments or nothing. We did talk to RMA, which is our liability insurance company. They said it would probably cost us an extra $125 a year for insurance, so that's not something that we can't handle. And I think it would be a nice thing that we could do for the kids in this town, okay? Give them some outlet.
I agree.
Other than that, we would have to buy a piece of property, so.
I agree. I've had several residents in the past couple of weeks email me saying that they would rather see us spend the money on playground equipment for the kids
We can
rather
do
than a
both.
sign.
We
Yep,
can do
yep.
both, okay? And my intention was always to do both, all right, and that's what I did. So I wanted to make sure that I had our budget in place for this year, and that, you know, I actually got elected to office and everything before I started trying to make commitments with other entities around here, so, yeah.
Can't you use the village green for something?
The Village Green, unfortunately, that would be too close to 173, and with the way people drive through town on 173.
Yeah, that's right over
That,
there.
and you have
I could,
surface.
like, we could put like a couple of picnic tables and stuff on the front towards 173, and then there's a couple of trees there, and on the back of those trees, when it winds up a little bit, that's where I would put, closer to Ogden is where I would put the playground equipment,
Right.
okay? So, it's something we have to look into. I even looked at used playground equipment, and like, we get a real nice swing set for $3,000, we can, you know, it's not overly expensive to do it, and I just think it's high time that we tried to do something, okay?
I know we did look into this probably 8 years ago, and the big question at that point was the insurance.
Yeah.
It was gonna cost so much in case somebody got
$125
hurt.
a year, okay?
But
So,
yeah, that was,
So that's what I'm looking at, okay? All right, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I'll let you all know at the next meeting what transpired. If they're interested, we'll see what we can do, okay? All right. So that's what the message board. Next is this is the Clearwater certificate that Crystal worked up, that I think Tom worked up, and Crystal worked up the form on this, and I think she did a really, really nice job.
It is a really good job. It parallels the Four Rivers quite well.
Yeah.
It includes both new construction and this transition, sale of property. and so forth.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to go around and knock on everybody's door and house and say, I want to see your connections and your sump pump and everything, but when they sell a house, it's no different than doing a building inspection. This is just part of it. And that way, we slowly but surely, if there are some connections that shouldn't be, we can clean them up and get them taken care of. My ultimate goal in all of this is to see that we can get rid of all the wastewater intrusion in the stormwater, and I mean all the stormwater intrusion in the wastewater system, so that eventually we can get rid of that lagoon that's sitting back there, because that's all it's used for, is the overflow when we have heavy rain. And the problem with it is, once it overflows like that's mixed with sewage, so that's why it goes there, so it can be treated back through the plant when the surge goes away. If we can eliminate the surge, we can eliminate that problem, okay? So, that's where I'm at with that, okay? So, take this and look it over, and if there's any questions, we'll deal with them at the time. And you also have a copy of the code here from prohibited discharges which explains that you can't hook up your sump pump to the sewer system or your outside gutters, et cetera. That's gotta go out into a field someplace, okay? Next is the quote for manhole covers, okay? We're gonna move ahead with this. In our budget for this project, I budgeted $100,000. So we're gonna take the top line on this, which is $9,853, which is gonna get us 59 manhole covers. We don't need the rest of the stuff that's on here. These are add-ons, these are just in cases. So instead of spending $10,354, we're actually gonna spend $98.53. So at the next business meeting, I wanna get these, and then we're gonna get these installed. And then the rest of the project, I talked to Will at Strand, and we're gonna do a lot of the manholes that need a chemical lining put in and some repairs done, and the $90,000 that we're gonna use, the rest of that will go a long way towards getting that done. And then we can see what it's done to the surge of stormwater going through the system. I don't think that in itself is going to eliminate it, but I'd like to see if it lowers it a bit so that we can get a handle on this, okay? All right. And next is the lagoon. This is the quote for the new liner. And this is actually pretty good news. Originally, Strand told me between $170,000 and $200,000. And I went online and I found a couple of places, and there unfortunately is nobody local that does this, okay? So these people are out of Arizona, all right, called Western AG or Western Environmental. And this includes the liner and installation, okay? And the whole thing is $44,055. We're gonna be able to overlay this liner on top of the old liner, so we don't have to remove it. This is going through engineering. All the materials fit the requirements. This is the size that we are going to need, and this is the company that is also gonna do the installation. So there's a 2-week lead time to get this, all right? And then they'll have to install it. So what's gonna happen, we have not removed the sludge from the lagoon yet, just all the liquid. The reason for that is because you can't really pump it out, you've gotta move it. And I don't wanna put like a skid loader down there and punch a hole in the liner until we get this liner on site. That way, if we have an issue, we can get it covered up right away. Otherwise, we got a real EPA issue, and I want to remind everybody that the bottom of this lagoon is sitting 130 feet above the water we drink. So it's imperative that we take care of this, okay? So I contacted a couple of companies. This is the only quote I got back, but it was much cheaper than what was anticipated, and it's got a 20-year warranty, so we won't have a problem. And the other tarp, the other liner, it's met its requirement. It's past its lifespan, so it needs to be replaced, okay? So I want to get that done at the next meeting so we can get it ordered and get it in here, all right? And then the next thing on here is the solicitations permit. Again, Crystal put this together. She kind of gleaned the document that we had from McChesney Park, and we took out some of the stuff that doesn't apply to us and put the rest in here. So what I want to do is I want to have you all review this, and then at the business meeting, you can approve the content, and then we're going to actually get this put into an ordinance form.
Do you want me to have an ordinance ready for 2 weeks?
I don't think so,
Okay.
okay?
Wait one more session.
Yeah,
'Cause
so,
It'll be whereas, now therefore,
Yeah.
remove section whatever and insert this instead.
yeah, it'll get formalized, but I want you all to go over this and make sure it's got everything in it that you want us to have in it, okay? Like I said, we can't have nothing, and we can't tell people they can't do it, so we need to put some rules in place, and we need to put some rules in place that we can enforce, okay? So that's what this is all about, okay? Thank you. So that's all I got for this meeting. Does anybody, let's see, Linda, trustee Lopez, anything?
No, nothing.
Okay, McMahon,
No.
Lacewell,
Nope.
AG.
So the annual garage sale dates are going to be July 11th through the 13th, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then also, the family that used to do the flower pots, both husband and wife have since passed on. The family does not want to continue to do them. Usually they would get donations, and it was around $250 to do all of the pots down 173 here. I'd like to see if we could get donations from like local businesses or even the residents to do the pots. But if we don't get donations, or we only get a certain amount of donations, I'd like to supplement from the miscellaneous, whatever would make that 250, so that we can do those pots. I think that's it for me.
Okay, all right, so we'll do that in 2 weeks. Okay, trustee Wolfhard,
Nothing at this time.
trustee Panal.
Nothing additional.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All, okay, thank you.